Hey everyone, my name's Chris Lambert. On this channel, we talk Kanye West, and today we are talking Ye's newest Instagram post, which is a conversation between him and Coodie. Coodie is the director of Jeen-Yuhs. One of the two directors is Coodie and Shike, who make up a group. And Coodie is the one that originally started filming Ye, though. And you can see that Ye posts this text message conversation, which you can't really tell who it is, but the context clues are from the C, would love for you to see all three movies, that this is Coodie. And Ye saying, I need Drake to do the narration. And he says Drake want to narrate the documentary, which I think is a question, right? Not saying like Drake wants to, but like, hey, Drake, do you want to narrate the documentary? And I'm so torn on this because on the one hand, I think I understand where Ye's coming from, right? Like to have someone like Drake narrating the documentary just sounds awesome, right? Because it's Drake. Drake is a superstar. They recently had their beef, but to have like not just the Larry Hoover concert be this reunion between them, but to have Drake as the voice on this documentary, what would that mean? That's a huge thing. But I've seen part one and part two of this documentary, right? I'm about to watch part 3 once I'm done making this video because I get to do an interview with Coodie and Shike tomorrow, which is exciting. When you watch them, and I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers here or anything for those of you that want to avoid them. Coodie's the one that is narrating the whole thing. He's the one that has the camera. There are times where he's explaining things from his perspective, like what's going on the screen. Like, I'm here doing this. This is what's happening. It's very much, it's not Planet Earth, right? Where you could have anybody just be like, the cheetah walked across the safari and a toucan flew out of the tree. It's like first person perspective of, I saw Ye doing this thing and we were talking and things weren't kind of going the way that he wanted, but I had an idea that we could do this. Very much Coodie giving his thoughts and appearing in the documentary at times as he's turning the camera towards himself. There are times where it breaks away from Ye to focus on something that Coodie's doing. Like Coodie's story, especially at the end of part 2 and throughout part 3, is very important. So if you were to replace all of his narration with Drake, it just wouldn't make that much sense because you'd have to do a whole new narration. You'd have to have Drake coming in and being like, now Coodie had this idea instead of Coodie talking about it from his perspective. So this isn't, as much as it's a documentary about Kanye West, it's Coodie's documentary about Kanye West, right? So you can see him saying, through you will see it come into fruition, would love for you to see all 3 movies. Like, I would like for you to see like what's going on, what's happening. And they were recently together. Like you can see this on the shirt. It says Jeen-Yuhs. Like Coodie was just out in Los Angeles at the hotel that they're all at with Ye giving his typical face. They had happier photos together, but they were together and it seemed like maybe things were going well. But it still seems like Ye wants more control over this project, just in different ways. Like before he talked about wanting to have like final edits of the project, and Coodie was trying to say like, you know, it'll be okay. Like, I got you. And now he's saying he needs Drake to do the narration. I can see Coodie saying like, yo, just watch. And then you'll understand why it has to kind of be me. You know, maybe they're talking about a second documentary, you know? Maybe it's not like the one that I've already seen so far. But if it is the one I've already seen so far, I just can't imagine. And maybe that's me not being a genius. Maybe that's me being a genius with a G rather than a J. I just don't see how Drake would fit into the narration when Coodie's narration is so relevant. And for those of you that don't want spoilers, go ahead and cover your ears. I'll take my hands away. At the end of part 2, like part 2 focuses on the release of The College Dropout. So part 1's leading up to signing. Part 2 is the release of The College Dropout and like the making of it, the release. And Coodie talks about how when Ye got more famous, I can't believe I'm doing this. When Ye got more famous, he got less access. Like Ye kind of got caught up, and you have this moment where after they had the success with the Through the Wire music video with Coodie and Shike directing it, making it, Kanye was getting ready to make the Jesus Walks video, and he's like, I got to get Hype Williams. You know, I love you. We're going to make so many videos together, but for this one, I got to get Hype Williams. And Coodie's like, okay, but you're not gonna like it, and you're gonna come back to us. And that's exactly what happens. But you can already see, like, Coodie was the one that was kind of there for all this, helps him make the first video, and immediately Ye's like, I need to level up and get hype. Like, I love you, like, you're great, but I need to get hype. And now here it's like Coodie makes this doc, and he's like, yeah, you're great, but I need Drake to do the narration. It's kind of heartbreaking to see, I think, at least to me, which maybe like Coodie's cool with it. Maybe he's like used to it at this point. Maybe he expects something like this, but just knowing, I guess, feeling how much it felt he has poured into this documentary and did the narration and how personal that narration is, it's just a little heart wrenching to see it be like, oh, you need to get rid of all that and put Drake in there because he's Drake and you're not Drake. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting, but I'm going to go make this review video of part 2 and then, which I kind of did right now, and then go watch part 3. So that's it for now. Until next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy. Cheers.